I could take the train, but I won't. I'm gonna put you here. This is stable as f. Being straight is overrated. Take it whole life for me to settle. Ooh. Okay, hello. Let me pause the music. Welcome back to Vienna! Hello, and welcome to LVlog number 32. I decided, yes, it's time for an LVlog again, because I want to show you my state right now, because otherwise you might believe that I'm constantly depressed and in a bad state, but right now I'm feeling really good, so I also want to share that. So I was standing there at the platform waiting for my train, vibing to the music in the sun, and I was like, hey man, life is great. And then I reflected upon it, why I feel so good right now, and then I decided, hey, I want to share that. Let's go there where I have some background. Yeah, the wind is blowing you around. It's fine. It's fine. If I do this, I lose hair. Ah! I didn't plan to film. I didn't plan to be presentable. I slept for 3 hours last night, whatever you say, because I prioritized going to fusion dance parties. And yeah, yes, I had so many good dances yesterday. It's amazing. I wish I could share some of them, but fusion doesn't like to record, and therefore it's difficult. Point is, I had good dances, and I like to slap my own hand. That's how good I feel. Tuck, tuck. Yeah, I think I'm high. Maybe I'm sleep deprived high, but also I'm definitely cuddle hormone high, because all the dancing, the way I like to dance, is very cuddly. And also, I really connected with people this weekend, and that was because a friend of mine, the person I was staying at, he was hosting a dinner on Saturday and had just some friends come over, so some fusion people coming over to his place, and we were having dinner. I mean, that by itself wasn't anything special, but then he suggested we play a game called Hot Seat. And I was like, cool, I'm in, whatever, I don't know that. I know hot seat, that's something from, you know, chair work kind of hot seat that I know from Radical Honesty. So I didn't think it was that. And it wasn't that, but turned out it was something actually that I know from Radical Honesty, which we call the questions and answers game, where basically one person sits in the hot seat. This is really not stable with the wind, the trolley, I think it goes like this. It doesn't matter, it's art. So I know that it's the questions and answers game, where basically one person sits in that hot seat and then other people ask questions, but they ask questions that they're really interested in, like about their sex life, about, I don't know, money, about relationships, you know. And that by itself also, I mean, it can go wrong if you play it with the wrong people, kind of. Fuck, it's windy all of a sudden. What is that? Wind? But with those people, like one person went first and it went like super well. They were super honest and everything. And then I was like, I want to go next. Yeah, and I enjoyed that. I got some interesting questions and I could like honestly share, which wasn't like, it's not difficult for me. I'm used to that from Radical Honesty. And then also when I was asking questions, I asked interesting questions and people were like, whoa, this guy asks good questions, because I know it from Radical Honesty and I know like how to, you know, so I really enjoyed that. And then afterwards we were talking about it, because I shared that I know this from Radical Honesty, and then they were asking me questions about Radical Honesty, not in hot seat, but we were just talking, and then I felt like I'm knowledgeable, I can share something productively. And also my progression of how I moved on from Radical Honesty, what I don't like about Radical Honesty and what I think could be better. And you know, we just had really nice conversations about that, and that really created trust in a way, because there was one person in particular that I met that evening. I didn't know them before, and pretty much immediately after that dinner I felt super close to her, and like it was like we trusted each other, and it's like, and we were also like physically close, also with the dancing, but dancing first it didn't vibe with her at all, different dance backgrounds, but I really enjoyed just being in her presence. And it's just, yeah, that was super nice. Just talking about that, because initially I didn't really notice her. Only through that sharing, honestly, we got to know each other. And also really interesting for me to observe is I started finding her more and more attractive the more I talked with her. At first it was like not my type, but then when we talked, suddenly I was like, damn, she pretty. You know, it's so fun. And then also all the dancing that made my weekend also better. And then just now I connected to a good friend of mine from Vienna. I'm gonna ask her if I can share her name. I'm just gonna say Dana, code name, lol. She was also at this dinner, and I then asked her, and I'm not gonna share anything of her story, but I then asked a follow-up question when we were already walking to the dance event. We went there together because we were all going there, and I asked a question and she gave a generic answer, and then later came to me, this is the actual answer. I asked her, how do you feel about da da da? And then she later came to me and shared with me personally how she actually felt, or how she actually feels about that, and why. And I was like, oh, thank you so much for sharing. And this like, you know? And I think that also brought us closer together. And we had amazing dances as well. But I'm used to having really good dances with her. But also connecting on a different level with her. Like this, yeah, and it felt so good. And then today we were going back on the bus because we were on the same flight. So we took the bus to the airport together, which was an hour ride. It was just so nice sitting there next to her. I don't know, it gave me those like girlfriend vibes. It gave me those I'm in a secure relationship kind of vibes. Even though we're not dating, and I'm not really interested in dating her. Is that true? I guess, I mean, maybe I would even be interested. But my avoidance already tells me, but list 1, 2, 3, 4 items that doesn't fit well, and she's moving away from Vienna. Is that a good argument, Andy? No, it's not. I could also move away from Vienna. That doesn't stop me. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I would want to date her. I don't think it's on the table. Therefore, we don't need to discuss that. Point is, I felt super good just sitting next to her, and like it felt so good. And that's why I'm like so high right now. I'm so happy. I'm like, life is good. And I didn't say that a few months ago when I was being nihilistic. I was like, life is pointless. And now I'm like, life is amazing. And yeah, it's a combination of dancing and people. Like, the important thing is the people. I need more people and more like close connections. That's what I learned this weekend. With that, I feel so much better. Because I mean, I am most of the time I am alone, and I now live alone again, and my roommate moved out, different story, not important. It is so important and so I want to create that for myself. Maybe I want to host dinner evenings or game evenings or dance evenings, which I already do. But I need more, like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know how I can also make that work, and radical honesty definitely helps. Like I shared how the skills of radical honesty really helped me have better connections, and I really saw it there again, like the skills I have from radical honesty, how that brings me closer to people, and what I learned with empathy. Which, fun fact, my mental model currently is, I learned this essentially. So other people feel what other people feel, and I learned what other people feel by pattern matching. I have a bunch of test samples where I got the feedback, hey, I think you're feeling this, and then they give me the feedback, yes, that's true, and then I remember it, kind of like how their face looks, and I associate. I don't feel it, like other people feel that, and then they feel the emotion themselves, and then they can name it, and I'm like, that's not how I work. But when I look at people by now, I can see what they feel most of the time. And I learned that, that's a learned skill I have. And maybe I could also learn to feel it. Not sure if I want to, because it's also a great skill to completely detach from what other people feel, because then I can be in a room with high emotions and feel confident and like not bad, like, because other people, the sponges that really like take over other people's emotions, they feel what the other people feel, and so they feel, you know, anger if somebody is angry, or you know, they get scared if somebody gets angry, or something like that, right? It affects them directly. And I can still, because that's what I learned, that was my strategy to, you know, not feel anything, I can live with other people's emotions way better. So it's also a skill. But anyway, I had to learn to, read emotions. How did I get to that topic? Doesn't matter. It's just interesting to analyze those things, to think about those things, and really notice how I'm getting better at it. Notice how I'm getting better at relating. And I really feel like I'm getting close. I'm really close to the point where I can have a securely attached relationship with someone. I feel more and more ready for it. I'm learning all the skills, and now it's just, I guess, being lucky and finding the right person. And I also notice how more and more people become interesting to me. Like, I'm not that picky anymore, because emotionally most people are interesting. And that's, if I let go of this, the other person needs to be perfect, because that won't happen anyway. I want to love somebody for their flaws as well. It makes them human. So I don't need the perfect woman or whatever. That's bullshit. But I just want the few things that are really important to me, which is that she wants to have children at some point, that she's also open for like this direct kind of communication that I like, and that she's somewhat self-reflected, that she notices what she feels and what her triggers are. I talked about this in a different video. But I notice how I'm less avoidant, I think. And that's cool. I love that. So life is good. I'm enjoying this. I'm making progress overall, and I was pretty happy when I was standing there listening to music. And now I'm more in my head telling you this story, so I don't really feel that happiness anymore. But certainly the topic I talked about in the last video is not at all present anymore. So it's really a thing of what I let in my head, how I feel, right? Because my life is pretty damn good, if you think about it. I don't need to work much. Actually, the work I do is sometimes really fun for me as well. I can dance and basically do whatever I want, travel around as much as I want. I'm healthy, all the things, good weather. It's like, it's pretty good. It's pretty freaking good. And my mood then still depends on how I talk to myself. My inner monologue makes my emotions, because I'm still very brain driven. As I told you a few seconds ago, that this is how my empathy works with, thinking about it. So if I think about the world going down, then obviously I'm gonna get down as well. And if I think about how amazing it just was, and also, yes, okay, it also is a bit the hormones of the actual physical touch and the actual connections that I don't just imagine, but definitely makes me happy. Can totally deal with 3 hours of sleep. Do you think I can catch that train over there that departs in probably 3 minutes or so? I'm gonna try, and I will see you in LVlog number 33. Or some other video. I hope I'll be happy. I hope I let all the good things into my brain and not all the bad things. Boom! Let's go! And tonight we're gonna go to Zouk, the weekly social, and the class before. And then tomorrow I have a date actually. I'm on Blind Mate. Did I tell you that? No, all the things that I didn't tell you. I'm on Blind Mate, which is a dating app where people swipe for you, like my friends swipe for me. And I have a blind date. I don't know what she looks like, but I have a date with her. It was pretty vibing in the chat. I'm not good with like text communication, but with her, that went well. So I'm looking forward to that date tomorrow. I'm gonna take her with me to blues dancing. And then Wednesday starts the first party of Dance Blender. Then I have a full weekend of Dance Blender, which is a fusion festival in Vienna. Then the weekend after I go to Zouk time in Brno. So my life consists of dancing and meeting new people and having good dances and having good connections, and it's good. My life is goddamn good. And at this very moment I feel happy. And I wanted to share that such that you don't have the impression that I'm always down. I'm sometimes down, admittedly, but not right now, and this is great. I freaking love it. With that said, freedom and health to you. I hope that you are free. I hope that you are healthy. I hope that you have good connections. And I'm gonna catch this train now. Made it. See you next time.